Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Talking Indie Mayhem. I hope you all were able to watch the show earlier this week with all the guys and our amazing winner who's basically like showing everybody up. Not only did he come back and beat the crap out of all of us last season, he's already dominating this season. Like, holy cow, David, where's this all coming from? Y'all forgive me for getting tongue-tied tonight. It's going to be a fun one. But let's bring everybody in. So I'm starting this off different, just bringing you guys in. Like, we're just all going to sit here and hash it out. We have 2 missing tonight anyway, so no biggie, right? Ooh, and the chat is already going crazy. So let's check out who all is here. Hey, Jonathan, how's it going? Joe's here. Anita is here. Dan is here.
Anita.
Yeah, Ron and RJ are definitely getting roasted. If you're watching on Facebook, you can support our network by sending stars. Dan says, might have to refresh my drink first. Go for it.
Fair enough.
Right, Tiffany's hanging out with us, and Hell's Phoenix as well.
I hope that is my legacy. That David is referred to as international sex symbol David Green the rest of his life, like it's, on his tombstone.
As Nikki likes to say, it's got to be the dreamy eyes, right, guys?
Yeah. With
your newly 40 number, we got to pick on you a little bit, right?
I did not sign up for this. This is not what I'm here for.
It makes me feel like I've done at least one thing that matters.
Oh my gosh.
That is true. That is true. It's something to be proud of.
Oh my gosh.
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, and it was David's idea about Ron's OnlyFans page, right?
Yes.
I remember right?
Yes. That is true.
Only Ron.
Well, I'm thinking about changing it to where it'll now be for the goats and the chickens, and they'll be naked. And anytime I put them on anything else, they'll be in costume, so they'll be wearing clothes. So you want to see them naked, you got to come to the OnlyFans.
You got to come to the OnlyFans. Fair enough. Yeah, you got to pay for that.
We'll see how it works.
Ron will be in jail pretty soon, I think. Again.
Ugh, if only I still lived in Idaho, then I could do whatever I wanted.
Oh my lord! Oh my lord! Let's see. We got a comment here. Joe says, "Makes me think we need to change the title of his show, The Sexy Green Room with David."
That's a very different. That's a very different show, isn't it? The Sexy Green Room.
Yeah. Would there be like disco music? Would it
that is a great question, Dan. Speaking of hats, guys, I put something together for you guys because y'all really brought the hat game.
Woo-wee! Okay, Boomer. Haters gonna hate.
Special. And for the record, I did bring a hat tonight, but then I realized I'm wearing a microphone with that little band over my, and it just doesn't quite, it doesn't quite do it. So
it's true. And the great thing is,
I'll enjoy it.
Oh, that was weird.
Yeah. While we're moving, we discovered one box of hats, but there are at least one more box of hats. So I'm pretty excited. It's the real highlight of moving, finding hats.
I'm just gonna run through the comments because I froze in there, guys. Hating and hate. Yep. I had to add that in, so
look at you guys. I am looking at you guys. You're all right here in front of me.
You look wonderful.
So why didn't you guys wear the hats tonight?
That's just for Indie Mayhem and gardening. And putting the animals to bed. I actually do wear hats a lot, now that I think about it.
This is part of Indie Mayhem.
Yeah,
well, that is true. But now we're just talking about
with the.
There we go.
Doing it. A metal band over my head, kind of.
We're not
It fights
doing
with
the
the hat.
show. We're just talking about the show.
Yeah, you don't want to give the whole thing away at once.
Oh my gosh. But the hats are awesome though for the show, for real. Like, I'm
Okay,
really glad y'all made that a thing.
let's talk
this
about
season.
that for a second, though. So last year, all the guests give me shit because I won't wear or I don't have any hats to wear, and then I wear a hat. I wear hats, and then they give me shit about my hats. So it was very
You have to
confusing.
wear a good hat. You have to wear a good hat, Ron. That's the
You shut your
problem.
foreign mouth. Those were great hats.
Yeah, he has some crazy hats. I mean, but so Dan, I don't know if you watched some of the old season, but like RJ always had a crazy hat and Ron never had a hat. So we gave Ron a whole bunch of crap for not wearing a hat. But now they're wearing hat and he's wearing his garden t-shirt under his blazers. So
Yes, I've given up. Thank you.
You've given
Emily.
in to wearing
You're the
hats, you mean?
best. No, I've given up on how I dress. I'm still
Okay.
going to put on a sports coat because that takes like minimal effort. But I'm not going to put on a fancy dress shirt. Most of my dress shirts are French cuffs and and I got to put in the collar stays. I mean, they're nice shirts, so it's a lot of work.
yeah.
A lot of work. And for no benefit. All people did was give me crap about treating people with respect.
Yeah.
So you got to play to your crowd. So I'm wearing a crappy t-shirt.
Yeah.
The t-shirt
My dress
and
shirts, on the other
blazers.
hand, are best worn under a sweater,
Thank you, Daniel.
given that they get ironed about once a decade.
Yeah, they're sweaters. You don't really need to iron them.
Yeah.
But I have a question for David. So, David, did you come into the season thinking you were going to kick butt again? Or did you have a plan?
No.
Ron, did you mute him?
What? No. All right, I did. I kind of gave it away with the suspicious.
I kind of forgot that this was happening, and then I remembered, and then I was quite drunk, which I think is the key to do well on Indie Mayhem is to be quite drunk, not too drunk where you become aggressive, I suppose, and because it's easy to get aggressive at Ron because he deserves it a lot of the time. But yeah, a little bit drunk is the way to do it, I think.
Yeah,
That's the
it
sweet
definitely
spot.
relaxes you.
Yeah, and I feel that's really to my advantage because I'm usually on these in the middle of the night, so I've had longer to drink than anyone else.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm enjoying a glass of wine tonight, so I mean, it's the last of the wine. I didn't realize that when I did my grocery stuff earlier, but hopefully my child will have school tomorrow because we've had one virtual day this week and 2 snow days. And I'm just like, okay.
Oh, wow.
Like, gotta have
I
some.
thought you were going to say, I hope my child will have wine tomorrow. I thought that's what you were going to say.
I thought the same. I hope he will share with me, his wine.
David, how many glasses of bourbon would you say is optimum, especially when coming in for Indie Mayhem?
To do this, like a solid bottle, I think.
Oh, jeez.
Ron, RJ, this is what you do to David.
A lot.
It depends on your tolerance, really, doesn't it? Maybe 3 or 4 just before you get on there. That's good. I was 40, to be honest. It was my 40th birthday, so I'd been drinking most of the day. So in the weekend as well. Yeah.
Okay, guys, I want to break down some fun clips from the show. So this one I felt like was kind of a surprise for you guys. So let's play it.
Raw leather, basically. It was just chewed on by.
Was the last one made of newspapers? Because it looks like it's giving you headlines.
Oh
man! Oh, nice snap! You got served.
I did. I got to give him a point for that one.
I felt like that one came out of like left field for you guys.
It did. I don't know why we didn't expect it. What with his pun a day, posting.
Yeah.
I don't know. If
You should have been
Facebook, I
warned.
guess. He, I mean, yeah. Well, yeah. I should have expected a lot of puns coming from him, but that one really came so naturally into the conversation. I was taken by surprise.
Sometimes they just slip in.
Yeah, it was a good one. So I mean, yeah, David, what were your thoughts on Bob's random pun?
I hated all of them.
Excuse me.
Every single one of them I hated. Now some of them were good. There was the thing about the rabbit. He went into overdrive on that one.
Oh yeah, the poor bunny.
And I kind of wish that he'd stopped doing it, but then I was like,
Yes,
this is what it's here for.
that is true, and it makes it fun. Another fun one I pulled was this.
If you wrote fortune cookies, what would one say? Charity?
He who ignores the fortune cookie chokes on the paper.
Good.
I like how Charity took a drink of her wine, like, oh, yep, this is the truth, kind of like just throwing it out there.
Yeah, she was committed to that answer.
I like how Robin will give a point for anything.
I'm a pushover that way.
Yeah, that's
I'd
what
be the
being
worst.
nice gets you.
I'd be like the worst math teacher. Like 2 + 2, you're close enough. You tried. I don't want to hurt your self-esteem.
Yeah.
You're gonna do great in Canada.
And then even more, I've got so many good clips. Like even like you guys added some too, but here's another one.
Plagiarism has a bad reputation. What's one good thing you can say about plagiarizing? David?
It means you'll get your very best work out there.
All right. Anybody else? Bob?
At least you know how the story ends.
I was looking for it's fast. It's real fast.
I like that answer.
But,
You know,
all right, you gave each of those two gentlemen a point? All right.
That was a good question.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think plagiarism does get a bad reputation, really. I think, if you can get away with it, then what's the problem,
Shakespeare did,
Exactly.
and he did all right.
Yeah.
Ron does it all the time as well.
I've never written anything.
Oh gosh. And then I guess this was after like some random mishaps, maybe.
First of all, we're live. No more editing out all of the bad parts. Sorry about that. We also have a scorecard now. Also,
Also, we have that live energy. Like that time I saw Prince and the Beatles together. They blew the stage apart. But so we're going to have that kind of energy tonight.
Yeah.
Yes, we had been going for 7 minutes when Ron looked up and said, "Oh, we haven't started yet."
I wondered about that, about the scorecard.
So the software we use, StreamYard, you click go live, and then it says, "Do you really want to go live?" And you say yes, and then you're live. And so I didn't even look back at it, which now I'm going to add into my little script for the show. Check and make sure we're on. Like periodically.
Robbie asked a really great question on that bit as well, which I thought was like really. I think the show was good. I think live is really, really good for it. But he asked a really great question, and I was like hoping it would come back on again, but it didn't come back up. And it was a great question, and it had some good answers.
Yeah.
It was the one about.
Well, don't spoil it. I'm going to use it for the next show.
Oh, you're going to use it for the next one? Oh, okay.
But so, Robin went ahead and just did the question he had already asked, and everybody had already answered. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want my questions to be a surprise. So now I have one. I've already got one question for the next episode.
Excellent. Well, I hope the answers are as good as the ones that we gave you.
Me too. If not, I will let them know.
Yeah, let's find out. Because I mean,
just use our answers. What is going on in the comments today?
So Nikki said, just got here, what I missed. Oh, hey, Ron, very sexy green shirt you've got there. Can't seem to take my eyes off it. Well done on getting dressed today. You sure know how to please a crowd. I think we have a new fan fave for you.
Nikki will be.
David, you've got some competition now. You're gonna have to pull more of the dreamy eyes out.
I don't really mind because because I was the person that came up with only Ron. I'm getting 50% of the profit. So.
Wow. I wish you were covering 50% of the expenses. But Nikki will be happy to know I have like 8 of these shirts. So
That's true.
I'll have
He
them
wears
for a
them.
long time.
Yes. So
Unless it's a game day for one of the sports franchises I follow, I'm wearing this.
since we've brought up the Only Rons, I feel like this is a great time for this clip.
If you wrote porn screenplays, would it be for A, the crappy money, B, to meet the performers, or C, the shame?
D, I want to make the titles, the dumb pun titles.
That's great. You don't get a point for it because we don't encourage lawlessness. But David.
I will go with the hidden option, which is to work with you, Ron.
Thanks. Charity, do you actually want a point? You could say, well, you have to say one of the three. You have to pick.
I mean, I have to kind of agree somewhat with David, but I'd go with the opposition. It would be so that I could put you in the movie and kill you off, Ron.
All right, no points for that one.
That was such a gimme too.
That was a slow pitch.
She didn't even need to know what the options were. She just could have said A, anything. It would just A, B, or C. But she was so focused on being mean to me that she really didn't seem to be competing at all. And after the show was over, I was like, "You were way more mean than I am." And she goes on about how mean I am, but she was way worse than So, and I told her I build up to it. So by the end of the season, I'm really mean. But at the beginning, I try and trick people and be a little bit nice. She just was like,
when have you? I don't know if I've never seen you trick people about being nice.
Thank you. That's very sweet.
But I thought it was funny that you guys threw a porn question in there, especially considering how season 1 ended with all of us. It just went very down the drain.
Well, this is the thing. Ron loves porn.
I do, and it also seems very popular with our audience. So,
right.
including the people on the show. If I recollect, there was a show where you, Madilynn, were like, every answer you gave was very naughty.
I write smut though. I mean, the steamy, super
Well, you
stuff,
live it apparently.
An occupational hazard. You get a potty mouth.
I guess so. It's the only reason I watch this show. Aw, very nice. But it just cracks me up that was the first episode of the season. You're like, here, we're putting this in here. So great answers though for that question, David, especially
Well, Ron has a very long history in the pornographic industry, stretching back to the 1920s in the silent movies, when he was a young man.
I think he's frozen too right now. So.
Or he's just taking it all in.
Yeah, I do have a smutty mind, and I can't help it. Although I did just finish a non-smutty story. It's actually a sweet story. And it's going to be featured in an anthology coming up soon.
Sounds boring.
So that's starting off the thing. It's actually not. It's a cute story. It's going to be in a whole collection of other romance authors, I think.
I just want to make one thing clear. While David and Charity were mean and awful to me on the show, Bob was very nice. So he's really moving up my list of favorite guests.
Yes. Although I do believe
David
has taken place of arch nemesis for him. So
that guy's racking up the nemesis.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that I was his nemesis
Arching
as
or
well.
helping Ron.
Well, after I saw a thing where he said, now both of you are. You know, David's number one, but Madilynn is still his forever nemesis. So he's just adding one every year.
Yeah, and I was very nice to him on mean reviews as well for his book.
Which is not the spirit of the thing.
It's you
from
guys
now
looking
on,
at
since your
him.
nemesis is, you should be mean to him.
I'm just going to be honest from now on. You told me to be very nice about it.
No. Oh, what a mean thing to say right there.
I'm going to make you guys feel old with this clip because it kind of brought up some nostalgia.
Do you guys remember when modems first came out and you connected over your landline? If you do, please make the awful sound they made when connecting. David.
Then there was silence for a little while when you thought, what the hell is going on now? Is it going to work or is it going to stop working? And then it would go. And you'd be like, oh, now it's about to work. And then you would download one song off LimeWire, which would take about 17 years.
Or one email. Right, one email. All right, Bob, did you want to have a go at it?
Oh, well, now I just have so many questions. Like, do modems sound like that in Ireland? Because it sounded very whale-like.
Yeah, well, we have a lot of whales. There's a lot of whales around.
Slightly less whale-like.
I think ours was more like a boop, boop, boop. And that was it.
Ours had to be
a magical realm.
Yeah, it was magical. It was fabulous. Ours was better than yours. That's all there was.
All right,
ours was powered by squirrels in the backwoods, so not surprising.
I think Bob did the best impersonation of what I remember it sounding like. So
good. Oh, not to David then? Oh, maybe it was Hayes.
Yeah, none to David.
Oh, good. I'm glad that you took it off because I was like, wait a minute, David got a point. I was like freaking out. We were gonna have to redo the whole episode.
I want to say David was definitely the best on that.
See, this is where the drinking comes into it because I wouldn't do that if I wasn't drunk. I would have just been like, I would have passed. But David, I still don't know what Charity was doing.
I thought David was the most entertaining, but Bob was the most accurate, according to my 35-year-old memory of that.
Was it really only that long ago that the dial-up stuff came out? I mean,
yeah, it's like the late 90s, wasn't it?
I remember it from when I was like in elementary school.
Yeah, of course. You're only 13.
It brings up nostalgia, like the AOL dial-up. Like
I remember when it started. I don't remember when it ended.
Right. At some point,
I don't remember either. Yeah.
No, I think I was in junior high when it ended because like internet got faster and it worked better about then. But I also grew up in rural like Oklahoma, so it was also slower to get there for things.
So you might have had it later. I was gonna say.
So Dan says 2002 I used a 24,000 baud modem. I have no idea what that is.
I just remember no one being able to use the house phone if someone was on the internet.
Yeah, you pick it up and like.
Right.
Ron, are you clicking stuff too? What is happening?
I'm just putting up the nice things Nikki said.
No!
Just over and over again.
Anita, I have blocked all of my modem experiences from my mind. I would not believe it. Like,
those were the days, eh?
But I do remember picking up the phone. Like you couldn't use the phone because somebody was on the internet. And if you did try to use the phone, it would kick them off the internet.
Right. It would break them.
Yeah.
And it takes like 5 minutes to get back on. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you've got mail every time you get onto AOL. So.
We didn't really use AOL over in Europe that much. We didn't like that American business.
I don't blame you. I didn't like it either. My parents had it. I mean, obviously, I was too young to have like my own thing, but there was a MySpace period. So,
yeah,
gotta love MySpace. And now it's Facebook. But if you think about it, Facebook's been around for a long time too. It came out in 2006, 2005, something like that.
Yeah, It's getting old now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, perfect for people my age.
Just
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure my kids aren't on it.
I mean, it's an emails with images and graphics, which would take our entire lunch hour to download. That's horrible. Gosh, I
What a
don't
way
even,
to
I
spend
can't
your
even
lunch hour.
imagine that now because I'm so used to everything like being speedy. Like
yeah.
I pulled up an old laptop to do something because I'm fixing to clean it and like take off all the stuff to try to sell it. Holy crap, dude, was it slow? Like
I remember we didn't have the internet and it was when it was first just coming out, and it wasn't in any schools. It wasn't, and none of our friends had it. But we used to get a movie magazine called Empire, and there was a little thing that like, if you go onto our website, we have an exclusive image of the Mortal Kombat movie. If you go onto our website, right? So we booked the local internet cafe. We had half an hour. That's how, because it was so busy. That's all you had. We went in there. By the time that we typed out the full address, which had to be, it can't be now where you just put something that's close to it. I'll say it had to be the full address. By the time we typed that out, pressed enter, waited for the image to load on the screen, the half an hour had timed out, and we had to go home.
that's horrible.
Right,
But
and it was for Mortal Kombat as well, which is. Yeah.
Anita says try 12 hours to update Windows. Or download a firewall. I hated that. Like you had to make sure things were left on to do that. Oh God.
And you can't interrupt it, or you'll be very sad.
Yeah.
Hey, did you, Madilynn? Did you forget the poll? The poll
I did.
for during this episode. Me too, until just now.
Yes, I did. Oh, we're going to start chatting about the poll next time, guys, because I failed this week. It's been a rough week. Hashtag
All right.
snow days and virtual days. Dan says, Anita, try downloading Born in a State. Oh my gosh. Oh. Another fun thing, which I kind of wish Charity was here because this would be fun.
And I'm only here because Ron will not leave me alone. It is very much a hostage situation. Ron, I'm sorry. I'm not going to date your niece, no matter how hairy her chest is.
So after we recorded a show last season, immediately after, I was still at Robin's house, and I sent Charity a message saying, hey, I have a niece in, I don't know, where does she live? Like Virginia or something. I have a niece very close to you. Would you be interested in dating her? And I'm like, she's developmentally disabled. I mean, it was just awful, the stuff I said. And she was trying to be nice back, like, well, I'm not a lesbian, and then as I just kept saying more and more stuff, finally she's like, what the fuck, man? It was getting more and more ridiculous, because I don't have a niece, but I made so much fun of her being single, because most of the people on the show, most of the contestants were married or engaged. So yeah, I mean, I wanted to take it even further. So I didn't realize how upset she was, and that it was.
She's
she had a
gonna
lot
hide
on her mind.
her emotions, so.
Yeah, no, it's a good thing we live on different, coasts, or different sides of the country.
Yeah, otherwise you might be the one being the compost in the garden.
Exactly. Hey, what did everybody think of the scoreboard?
Oh yeah, our new high-tech scoreboard.
I liked it. It worked. Like, and everybody could see the points you were putting on. Not gonna lie, that's a weird way to slide into the DMs.
It was just torture. I wanted to continue being mean to her even after the show was over. I don't think there's anything weird about that.
I do find it hilarious that something else has made its way back into this season.
Question is in honor of Charity. What is the best thing about Velzania? And this is a picture of some Velzania that I made with the assistance of my lovely wife. So Velzania, of course, is lasagna made with Velveeta rather than cheese. So, what is the best thing about Velzania? Is it A, the way the Velveeta melts so incredibly smoothly, filling each nook and cranny of every bite? Or B, the delicious flavor of Velveeta, which, as we know from the jingle, is Colby Swiss and cheddar blended all together? Or is it the dense weight C, the dense weight of the Velzania as it sits heavily in your belly, assuring you that you have eaten something very filling? So what is the best thing about Velzania? David?
I'm going to go with the last one, having never heard of what this thing is until this very minute. This is like Miracle Whip all over again. It's a very American show. This is, you have to adjust for us foreigners, but it seems
to make
very cheesy.
But I could fly David to my house so I could make him lasagna and some things with Miracle Whip and Spam.
You know what? You can send me some over with my.
So I have so many comments about that question.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah. RJ, you were cracking me up because you were watching Charity the whole time, but she's back there emptying her bottle of wine. What inspired you to bring this question back in?
I think Ron likes awful food, I think.
My mom invented Velzania. I mean, she created it so as to honor my mother. I get that. I mean, I sympathize with that.
It's dense enough to double as a weapon in a pinch. That's true.
Not even in a pinch, just at any time.
But
it is, well, one, I knew it would bother Charity because she's very upset about Velveeta. Very upset. And it is such an amazing cheese-like product.
Cheese-like.
So,
what we call a cheese food product here in the States.
Yeah, it's
for legal reasons.
It is amazing, and I do love it. I mean, we have a lot of real cheese in the house as well. I mean, normally we have about 7 different kinds of cheese, but there is also always Velveeta. And the sad thing is, after the show, I was doing something else and going through a folder, and a picture from that same night that I had made the Velzania, and I'd taken 3 different pictures and then put them together.
Yeah.
And it would have been a much more impactful shot if I had found that. So I was real sad. So unfortunately, it's live. If it had been, because if we were still doing, the recorded show, I could have subbed it in. But now, I don't want to mess with the integrity of the live product.
Wouldn't be right.
Yeah. I am curious for the chat, you guys. Like, do you guys like Velveeta? Like, large box macaroni, 5-pound block of Velveeta, and you got mac and cheese.
Yeah, a little bit of milk and butter, and that was how my mom made. And I don't want to be rude and correct Daniel, but it is a brick of Velveeta, not a block.
It is a brick, yeah.
Not a block.
The correct termination. It's a brick. Now I want to cook for Dickie. These discussions about Miracle Whip, Velveeta, Spam, it makes me want to cook for everyone. I need to open a restaurant. A Velveeta, Spam, Miracle Whip.
David
restaurant.
should be your first customer so he can have experience these things.
It would be a big money loser.
I know what Spam is. Spam has travelled because it's just water, so it travels everywhere. I would definitely fly all the way out to America just to go to Ron's terrible restaurant to try.
It feels like I would lose a lot of money from forcing these people to come here. Flying them from all over the world. No, you got to try this. So I spend thousands of dollars for them to eat the.
Oh. He's had too much cheese in his system. He's overwhelming himself, guys.
He's turned
Great
into a
expression
robot.
frozen on his face, though.
Yep.
No, I like the
we have
better,
it back now. Well, guys, I do believe I have actually gone over our time. It just kind of slipped away tonight.
It happens.
So, since it is Thursday, I do want to mention that not Indie Mayhem. Oh my gosh. Go Indie Now has late night news coming up tomorrow. And there is going to be a new guest hanging out with Joe as they bring in some fun stuff. And he actually mentioned something earlier in the chat that they were going to be talking about. If I can find it. It sounded like an interesting story. Here it is. You can spend 25 years in an Italian jail. More about that story tomorrow on Late Night News, talking about the whole plagiarism issue, or the plagiarism question we brought up. But it's going to be a lot of fun. And then on Sunday, there is another episode of This Week in Indies for you guys to come check out and hang out and bring questions. And yeah, and then we move into next week's programming, which is very much going to be like it was this week. Yeah, so.
Except that is an important thing to say. This season, Indie Mayhem isn't every week. It's twice a month, like every other week. And I also was going to say,
thanks, Jay.
There's an exciting new outro for Indie Mayhem this season. It's heretofore unseen. We saved it for the second episode. Yeah. But I think Bob would, or anyway, I think Bob would come back, and Charity too. Charity's going to be a guest host on Mean Reviews. So
sweet. Which, if you guys have not watched Mean Reviews, it's hilarious. I think we've all been a guest on there as well. Oh yes, you guys talk about David. Let's talk about your show before we end. That's next week, Monday? No.
It is Monday.
Yes.
It is, yeah. It's this Monday.
Share a little bit about that. Well, we've got such a great group here.
Yeah, so it's called the Green Room, and it's 2 guests come onto the show, and they have 3 topics that they have to discuss about things that they would like to consign to the bin forever, about the creative process or the creative world. And what they have to do is they have to convince me which one is going to be consigned to the bin. The winner gets to get lots of wonderful things, including an interview with me the following few days later. And the loser suffers the shame and embarrassment of having an interview with Ron.
So am I right that Ron gets to be your co-host for the first show?
I don't think so.
No. It's more like the after show. There's 2 parts to an after show, and my part, I'm supposed to be very mean to the losers.
Well, they can be
very
mean
clear.
To you. Yeah,
they can be mean to me. Well, that's like everybody apparently, but I'm supposed to be very mean. Oh yeah, my question.
Yeah, probably not, because most of my house is grey, unfortunately. But maybe I'll wear a green t-shirt. But yeah, we'll see. But I'm looking forward to if anyone who's going on it, and anyone who wants to consign Ron to the Green Room forever, that you will win that round. So just so you know.
Ooh, I like it. Well, guys, I think this is a great end note. Anything else you want to guys add for coming in the next Indie Mayhem episode? Something to look out for? New hats?
We still need contestants. So if any of the people watching the show are interested in being on, let me know. Reach out to me, and we'll get you on there.
All right, then. Well, guys, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Make sure you hit the like button while you're here. Subscribe if you hadn't. And we got one more comment coming in. Books by Tiffany says me. She wants to be on. So definitely reach out to them. But yeah, have a great night, guys. And remember, it's always time to go indie now. We'll see y'all later.
Bye, everybody.